Happy Easter, everyone. It's Easter Sunday, and well, it'll be Easter Monday probably by the time this goes out. We've got my sister and brother-in-law and their children here for an Easter egg hunt shortly. Obviously all outside, because we're allowed 2 households together now under the current rules, and they're currently just having a look at the baby goats. Look. These guys are starting to eat solids now, which is like the best news ever. So while the Easter Bunny's hiding the eggs, I'm just gonna take off this covering that I put on to protect them from last night's frost. It was a little bit harder than I was expecting actually, but nothing too scary. I'm just gonna lay it to the side so I can pop it back on, I think tonight, but if not, certainly tomorrow. I know we've got 2 more nights when I'm expecting a frost over the next 3, so I'm gonna do that now quickly. Note to self. I might not use that method again for lettuce. It's worked really well on everything else, but where the lettuce is so fragile at ground level, I actually managed to kill 2 of the plants by just pulling the straw off the top, so I won't be using that method again. Are you going to find Easter eggs in there? You think?
Whoa. Okay. Have a nice time.
So my nieces and their family have just left, so I'm straight back on the electric fencing. I've connected up. I got a new extension lead yesterday. I bought a longer extension lead, so I've connected that up inside the house there, and that runs all the way along. And a bit on what I'm doing at the moment, I'm just rushing to get to a finish line. I want to get to a finish line, then I can tweak it. So I'll come back and bury those wires and sort them out. And then this here, this is just a standard plug socket that the machine's plugged into up under here. But what I'll do is I'll unplug it. I'll take one of these slats off and feed it through the back. That won't take me any time, but I'm going to work my way along now and make all the connections. So made the connection there onto the machine for the live. We need to connect an earth, which is probably the thing I'll do last, because I want to connect up everything that I've already done. Because I think if I can just get at the moment, this wire goes up to, as you know, Poultry Paradise and then beyond. I've got some more wire so I can go wherever I want now. But if I can make it so that we are powering the Poultry Paradise fence, then that's a win. And from there, I can build on it and take my time doing so. But I feel like we'll be up and running at that point, and, you know, that's a definite win. So that's the plan. I forgot to mention the other thing I've got going on is I've got my sea salt in my dehydrator just to finish it off, to take the last bit of moisture out, because I don't know if you remember, if you watched that video, you know, I got it so far on the pan and then there was still quite a bit of moisture in it, so I think the dehydrator is the perfect place to dehydrate it. It's turning into another beautiful day, so I'm gonna carry on with my electric fencing. We need to fix that post in the pig wood, and the other thing that I really want to do today, while we've got this amazing weather, I'm going to wait till maybe 3 in the afternoon when the temperature is highest, and then I'm going to go and inspect my new bees. I want to just make sure that I've got a queen in there laying eggs, and or hopefully got a queen there laying eggs, or I'm going to see some queen cells, basically some brood that the workers have decided they need a new queen and they're going to make one. So hopefully the former, if not the latter, but either way they seem to be quite healthy and doing all right. So yeah, that's definitely something we're going to be doing today. Yesterday we got as far as here with our first wire, and we've got another one there, and we've left enough on each to make a connection. And obviously because this is outside, we want that connection to be watertight. It's an electric fence wire, so in places it's going to be exposed to the elements, because that's what electric fences are. You know, they're designed to be that way, and that's fine. But we don't really want it exposed somewhere someone's going to be surprised by it. Perhaps, you know, clearing up leaves or doing whatever they might be doing down there under the hedge, and get a surprise. So I've got some of these, which are basically connectors. That means we're going to be able to connect it all and have it be safely away from where anyone might come in contact with it. And they're also waterproof. They're for use outside, so we don't have to worry about, in wet weather, the electric shock, if you like, being transferred down a wet wire. So just like connecting two hoses, you slip that bit on there first, that bit onto the wire, and then you use a standard connection block. Now when I bought my first lot of wire, what I was after was this stuff, and it is 1.6mm lead out cable. However, they didn't have enough in stock, so I had to buy a roll of 2.5mm cable. If there's any electricians out there, please do tell me if there's something wrong in my thinking. But what I've done is I've put the 2.5mm cable on first for the first little run, and then I'm stepping down to this 1.6 in a connector block. I don't think that's a problem. But if there's, as I say, an electrician out there that can tell me differently, then I am all ears. I'm certainly not advocating this is the ideal method and that this is what you guys should do. For a start, the 2.5 is generally more expensive, but they did sell it to me for the same price as the 1.6 because they didn't have the stock, and I'd rung in advance to ask. So I think they felt bad that I'd driven out there to pick it up after checking, and they didn't have it, so they sold it to me for the reduced price. So that's why I didn't mind getting it. And like I say, I don't think that there's an issue with going from the 2.5 to the 1.6. But like I say, I'm not an electrician, and I am genuinely all ears, especially if there's a problem that I'm not seeing. So then we're going to slide this bit on there again, just like you would with a hose connector, and then we're going to join the two together with our connector block. And then we bring the two pieces together with the connector block inside and screw them tight. We can still move this up and down, but when we tighten the two ends, that brings a rubber seal in. Let me show you a bit closer. That tightens up a rubber seal on this end that comes and clamps around the wire, forming a watertight seal. And we'll do the same this side, obviously. There we go. That's our first connection made. Now, I bought two more reels of the lead out cable because I'm also going to use this to make some of our connections between our, what I'm going to call access points, if you like, you know, the places at which we can connect, and our fencing. And the first place we're going to do that is Poultry Paradise. Dealing with this cockerel has also shot up on our priority list because we're cooking him for dinner tomorrow. So our wire comes in here, comes up across here, and I'm going to tack it to the shed. I'm going to tack it down this side, and here we're going to connect both the next piece of wire to it, and also we're going to connect over to the fence. So what I'm going to try and do here is something a little bit fancy, a little bit convoluted. I'm going to try and join this one to this one and have this tail coming down that we can connect that fence onto. But I want this bit to be covered up. So what I'm going to try and do is basically, if you imagine that looped around there and this one coming back out the same way it goes in one of those connectors and down. Don't know if I'm going to be able to make that work or not, but I can try. It all depends if I can fit two of these through one of the inlets on this. And I don't think it's very likely. But unlikely does not mean impossible. No, I'm not. So unlikely doesn't mean impossible, but impossible means impossible, and this is impossible. So what it means is, what I'm going to have to do is just attach that to that there, and just wrap it in some electrical tape, some insulating tape. The coating on this is so tough, which is obviously great for what we want, but it makes it very hard to love when you're working with it. That wasn't the plan. Well, at least that's made a decision for me. I've just had to connect the two up, one to the other, and we'll come straight off this joint down to this fence. First thing I'm going to do is disconnect the battery that's currently powering it, because otherwise I'll forget and get an electric shock. So theoretically, that's now connected to the fencer, which is connected to the mains. The only thing we'd need to do to get this fence powered is put the earth in and switch it on. So next step is we're going to do the earth. We're going to use this earth that we've been using here. Going to take that down, connect that up. The only thing to say is, when you're using these electric fences, not the whole fence is electrified. Can you see? It's those strands that run around it. So you've got to be careful that you get a connection, which is why in an ideal world you'd use a connector like this that touches in multiple points. So what we might do when we're all set up is take some of these or get a few more of these and use these to make our final connections. But that's something I'll need to run through with my wife Jackie, and well, you know, let her make the decision really, because she's the one who is currently in charge of all the electric fences and makes all the decisions with them. So that's not likely to change. So all I'm trying to do is make her life easier. Right, let's get the earth attached. Give it a whiz. Give it a test. I'm gutted. The box isn't working. Oh, I've tried the fuses, tried everything, but the actual box, the main electric fencing box that I bought, isn't working. I'm going to have to take it back. And of course it's Easter Sunday. Can't do it today. It's bank holiday tomorrow. They're not going to be open tomorrow. Tuesday I'm going to be back at work. I'm going to really struggle. I've done all that work and I've actually got less than nowhere, because at the moment I've got the earth fence that my wife needs, the earth for the fence that my wife needs in Poultry Paradise down here, and Poultry Paradise is disconnected. I'm just glad I didn't disconnect more. Ah. Just gutted. Oh well, it happens. I'm going to go and get some lunch now, and then I'm going to cheer myself up by going and looking in my bees, because I'm sat in the shade right now, but if I turn around you'll see it's got nice and warm. So it's going to be a good time, a good chance for me to get in there and have a look. So yeah, that's something to look forward to after lunch at least. So going up to check on the bees now, and it's my first real inspection of a hive at my house. So it's super exciting. Equally as exciting is Jackie's coming too. She's not going to get quite as close as me because we've only got one bee suit between us. But yeah, no, it's really nice. So I don't know if you watched the video I did or not, but these are bees that I took from a roof on a building that was being demolished and rehomed them. And when we did that, they were really, really calm. So I'm hoping that they're going to remain so today. I can't think of a reason why they wouldn't be. And my other colony, which is still in bee lockdown and not able to come home yet, they're also a really calm colony. So fingers crossed we'll have 2 colonies of lovely calm bees here soon. So as predicted, with the weather warming up, they are far more active. So I'm going to properly suit up, go and open them up and have a look inside. So look how busy they are. So we're going to open them up and have a look inside. Oh, look at that! Oh my goodness, it's teeming, Jackie. It is absolutely heaving with bees, guys. So, we'll start at this end. There's not a lot going on those very last 3 rows, so I'll start here. reattach the ballastic bands, and you can see that they've started attaching it properly to the frames, which is great. What we're hoping to do at some point is find the queen. I might lay you down here. So a lot of the comb they've fixed together. I need to cut it apart here. As we move into the centre of the hive, we're hoping to see, goodness me, there's loads of honey there. We're hoping to see eggs being laid, which is obviously an indication that we have a queen. Now we're near the centre. I haven't seen the queen yet, but I am notoriously awful for spotting a queen. Oh my goodness, well, we have brood, which is basically babies. So we know we have a queen. You can see, I'll try and show you. Can you see those little white larvae? That is the larvae, the pupae, the eggs, effectively, that have turned into larvae, and will soon be bees. So it means we have a queen. Oh my goodness, yeah, here we are. We're right in the centre of the brood now, and we are absolutely full of it. Which is fantastic. This is fantastic, look. Just absolutely full of brood, and lots of stores as well. So I think the colony's doing really well. Try not to hurt any of you girls. Okay, and then not a lot going on again as we get towards the edge, so I think we're done here. We haven't seen the queen, but we've seen lots of evidence of her, and we'll put these guys back to bed. Let them not worry about me, but worry about foraging for the rest of the day. Huge success. And like I say, we'll leave them alone now and let them get on with it. So the downside of being a complete amateur at all of the things I do is I recorded that with the microphone pointing the wrong way. The microphone sticking out the other side of the camera, so not sure how good the audio was there. I hope you got it, but that was an incredible experience. That was my first ever time inspecting bees at my house. It was the first ever time inspecting bees when I'm not the junior member of a team and someone else there more experienced is sort of guiding. First time ever inspecting my own bees by myself. Yeah, it was just thrilling, fascinating and amazing. I'm so happy. So we've just come back in, and obviously I'm really happy about the bees. So we've had a massive fail with the electric fencing, although that is something we can take care of. Just need to replace the unit, I think, hopefully. And a massive win with the bees, and I would definitely have taken them that way round. So I'm not complaining. I've just come in to make myself a coffee. I'm going to get back out and fix that fence post. I'm also going to do a bit of planting. I'm going to plant out my tomato plants into the polytunnel and a few other bits. But this is going to wrap me up for filming today. Every hour of filming I do represents about an hour and 20 minutes of editing. And that represents probably 20 minutes combined on the actual uploaded product. So I'm going to wrap it up for today because I can't really commit to too much more time doing those other things. And just going to relax a little bit myself for the rest of the day, not worry about filming everything I'm doing. And yeah, just enjoy the rest of my bank holiday weekend like I'm sure you are. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and I will speak to you real soon. Cheers.